it's me, Gary, back once again with another Cuppa chat here on the Panto archive. And today I'm joined by a very, very, very special guest. So, special guest, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Phil Hoyles.
Hey, Phil, nice to meet you and to join. And thank you for joining us, I should say, today on Cuppa Chat.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much. I've got my cuppa here as well. So there you
Good.
are.
Is it a
Yeah,
cup of tea? I like to ask everyone straight away.
absolutely. Yeah, only the best. Only the best cup of tea. Begins with a T.
Oh, a tea. Yeah, we don't
Well,
want any
that's all I can
product
say.
placement.
No. Yeah, so I'm just going to enjoy this. Mm.
Perfect. And is that what you have when it's over Panto season? Is it always a cup of tea when you're working?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a tea fanatic. I will drink tea all the time. And when I'm doing panto, I'll have my own special panto mug in the dressing room. And during the interval, I will go out and make it, if I'm allowed, of course, if there's anywhere available. I'll go and make a cup of tea. And yeah, just can't
Wonderful.
help
And I
it.
mean, I chose today because we'll get more about what you get up to over the Panto season in just a minute. But I've chosen my Crash Bandicoot mug for you today with,
Nice.
as I always do on Cup of Chat, blackcurrant in it. I can't have anything too hot at the minute, Phil. It's too much when we're recording this.
Bit too warm.
Bit too
Yeah.
warm. So
Yeah.
you have been doing professional entertaining for 20 years, Panto, haven't you? Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. Yeah, 20 years. My goodness me. I'm still getting away with it as well, which is amazing. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, 20 years now. I started off in the holiday parks when I was about two. I think no, not really.
Not two,
No,
not
I started.
wow.
No, not really. No, I started off doing comedy impressions when I was younger, and always wanted to be in some way. And I started working in the holiday parks back in the early 2000s, and I kind of progressed from there, really.
And then you've ended up obviously in Panto now.
Yeah.
Is it something that you always wanted to do? Because we've spoken to lots of people and they've always been like, yeah, I've always wanted to do Panto. But then you
Mm.
get other people which obviously we've not spoken to because Panto is the best. And some people are like, goodness, no, Panto. Was that something you always wanted to do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I remember going to see my first pantomime because I'm from Cleethorpes, and I went to see my first panto at the Pier in Cleethorpes, which was there in a theatre. So back in the early 80s, I would have been about maybe five, maybe. And I think that was Aladdin, if I can remember rightly. And the lead comedian was a guy called Dougie Brown, who sadly passed away recently. And I that was my first panto, and I remember sitting there as a 5, 6 year old child, thinking, "My God, I love this." The lights, the costumes, everything, and I remember from that age, I just wanted to be in panto or on the stage, and it didn't happen for another, 20 years or so. But yeah, I'd always wanted to do pantomime.
Yeah, it is something that a lot of us performers, and actually, it's quite scary when you start speaking to everyone that we were all influenced by other people going and actually watching
Mm.
Panto ourselves, which obviously you could be now at you're doing your dame side of the Panto. You could be inspiring another person. How is that sort of responsibility? Does it ever feel like you're responsible for the next generation that's coming through?
Now you said it, yes. No, no. Um, do you know what? No, I've not really thought of it like that before. I've had maybe one or two younger people come up to me in the past and say, I'd love to do panto,
Yeah.
because it looks so much fun. We've seen you on stage, and we'd love to do this. And I always said to them, well, just keep going. If it's something you want to do, just go for it. Go for your
Yeah.
goals. Do some, go to a local drama school or theatre school and do it that way. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, it's a nice feeling, isn't it? Really, for
Yeah.
any youngsters coming to see you, and if they want to go into the business, then and it's down to me. That's great.
Yeah, well, definitely. And I understand you've been doing the Dame side in Panto since 2015. Did you start straight with the Dame, or were you playing other characters beforehand?
Well, I played for many years. I was playing parts like Alderman Fitzwarren. I played King Rat. I played Abanazar.
Oh,
I was
wonderful.
I was the Emperor in a plant in Aladdin, and I had always wanted Dame. I'd seen other people play Dame, and I thought I really want to give this a go. And the company I was working for, they were doing Cinderella one year, and I said I'd love to play the Ugly Sister,
Mm.
and they said, "Really?" I went, "Yeah, I'd love to play the Ugly Sister," and they took a chance on me. They said, "Yeah, okay, come on, and we'll get you. We'll have you play Nicholas Sister." They got another guy who came in to play the other one, and we did 3 years together. Me and the same guy in different venues, and then I was offered Widow Twankey. I was offered Ugly Sister again, Dame Trot, and
Yeah.
and I just love it. I really love playing Dame. It's probably the best part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased because I end up playing the Dame every Christmas as well, and it is the best role. But don't tell anyone
It
else that,
is.
will you?
No.
Obviously, because you said you did some other villains beforehand, did it feel like a natural place to go into Ugly Sisters, being that still villain, but actually getting a chance to show what you can do as the Dame? Is it
Oh
much
yeah.
different from other villains?
The Ugly Sister, maybe, yeah, a little bit, yeah, because you can be, well, you should know yourself. I'm not sure if you've played Ugly Sister, but yeah, it is. You are the villain of the piece, and it's just so nice to be just nasty, and you could wake up in a bad mood and go into the theatre, and you can take it on the audience, which is great. But yeah, so Ugly Sisters, I love, but yeah, baddies. The last time I played Abanasa was back in 2019, and I had unfortunately a Panto cancelled that year, and I was lucky enough to be asked to go in and play Abanasa in a Panto in Bolton for the last week of the run. And without any rehearsal, but I probably have about half an hour of rehearsals, and I was on, just literally straight on, and I enjoyed that. That was good, just good to get the nasty side out, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I do enjoy Uglies and the evil characters as well as the
Yeah.
Dame Trots and Widow Twankies.
Yeah, there is something, especially when it's like a school show, as you say, and you're like,
Mm.
no, it's too early. You know what? You're all annoying
Yeah,
me shouting. Just let's go with it. It is good fun. Phil,
and 10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, 10 o'clock, exactly. Yeah, it's like, no, don't start shouting at me. Phil, tell me about what is your favourite Dame to play then? If anyone, maybe we have lots of people who, I say this all the time, who maybe have only seen a Panto every year. They have never worked in the industry. Can you tell us which one is your favourite Dame and why?
My favorite Dame, yeah, maybe as I was saying earlier, the Ugly Sisters, maybe because there is that sense of nastiness there. You've also got they can also be funny as well. They are the comic, as well as Buttons. They are the comedy characters, I guess. So you can be nasty as well as funny.
Yeah,
So they're probably my favorite to play. But Widow Twankey, I think, comes a close second,
yeah,
because she is just the matriarch of the piece, and again the comedy element as well. And if ever I play Widow Twankey or Dame Trot, I always try and ham it up a little bit, because she's always got a love interest with the king or the emperor or the whoever, and
yeah.
I always try and ham it up if I can. And I have been told off before from directors going, please stick to the script, Phil. I'm like, okay, sorry, okay. As soon as the director goes out of the room or when we're on stage, I'll just go for
Yeah,
it.
exactly, exactly. I think you have to, as long as you're comfortable with your cast that you're with, isn't it? It's true that as
Mm.
long as you know you're going to get back on that script, you're
Yeah,
fine with
yeah,
that sort of stuff. Phil,
yeah.
tell us if anyone is watching this, maybe thinking one day I would like to get into Panto and especially into Dame side of it. What sort of advice, not necessarily, do your research, get to the producers or whatever, but what sort of advice, if someone's offered that role, would you say to do in preparation of playing these characters?
Well, in particular, Dame or any
Yeah,
character.
well, yeah, let's stick to the Dame for the
Okay.
time being.
Do you know what I did? I think if you get offered the part of a dame, which I did, I think the best thing to do is look at other people,
Mm,
look at the performers. Like, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. Now, I looked at the old school guys, so people like John Inman,
mm,
Chris Biggins, a guy called Barry Howard, who is in Heidi High. He played Dame, and it's also another guy called Win Calvin as well, who passed away. And I watched them and just learned really from them, um, to get my own character.
mm.
So I just think if you do get offered a panto part, just yeah, do your research.
Yeah,
Don't try and copy other people. Just try and get your own identity if you can. Because
yeah.
too many people, I think, copy others, and it becomes very samey. But I think just try and get your own character. Really, I
Yeah.
think that's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah, definitely. You want to take elements. I always like to think of it and go, "Oh, that's a lovely idea." But you do need
Mm.
to make it your own, don't you, Phil? Because as you say, there's nothing worse than trying to play someone else who's playing a character. It just doesn't work sometimes, and I think
No,
a lot of people fall into that sort of the trap as such sometimes.
yeah,
Phil, this year I understand you're going to be at Hunstanton. Is that correct?
I am. Yes,
Yeah.
first time there at the Princess Theatre in Hunstanton. So yeah, looking forward to that. That'll be good.
Yeah, I have many happy memories of going to Hunstanton when I was younger
Do
for
you?
in the summer season. I can't say I've ever been at Christmas, but we always used to go and visit the theatre and see whatever was going on. You're going to love it there if you haven't been
Wow.
already. Have you done Panto at a seaside resort in the winter before?
Yes, Skegness. I was
Yeah.
in Skegness
How
about
is
20
it,
years ago.
Phil?
Yeah.
How is it? Because we all have this sort of image that in the winter it's cold, it's windy,
Mm.
no one's really there. Obviously, you've still got your locals. Are you still getting a great atmosphere from them without the tourists as such?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Um, yeah, you get more of the locals, as you say. But it was quite funny because the last time I did Skegness, we had the photo shoot in mid-August, and it was similar like today. Really, today, as we're recording this, it's very sunny outside, but we it was a very sunny day. We had to do the photo shoot. I was in the big dame's outfit,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was so nice. It was loads of people out and about. And then we went in the end of November to start rehearsals. Completely different story. Completely different. Everywhere's closed down, and
Yeah.
so if people are milling around, but they're all locals.
Mm.
So there's hardly any holiday makers then. But yeah, we did actually. It is very different when you're
Yeah.
doing a seaside town in December.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think in a way you come in or any company obviously in a seaside resort, and you're the thing that the locals look forward to. We all get to visit these places and enjoy them in the summer months. It's sort of
Mhm.
normal to them, but the panto is the one thing that actually is something that everyone, and I mean I'm saying any town, a lot of people look forward to the panto. But maybe especially a seaside resort, it's something a little bit different that comes just for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever the run is. I think that's
Yeah.
nice, isn't it?
It is very nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing like a good old panto, especially at the
yeah,
seaside.
definitely, definitely. Phil, I can't believe it. We've already near enough come to the end of our cuppa chat today. It's
Oh,
been wonderful speaking to you.
no,
Um,
thank you.
it's been great to hear about the different angles that you've managed to do over your career as well. Phil, before you go though, I've been asking everyone the same question to finish on the cuppa chat, and I can't wait to hear your answer. If you could choose any one panto to perform in again, A, what would it be? So I need your choice in just a minute. So your favorite one, maybe, or one that's not
Hmm.
been done for years and years. And the second part of it is if you could work alongside someone else living or has unfortunately passed away, who would it be
Oh,
and why?
okay. That's a good question. That I've done. Let's see, what pantos haven't I done? I don't know what I don't really know. I love the Cinderella story. I that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
So the one that I'm doing this year, which is Jack and the Beanstalk, I like that as well. There's lots of visual elements in Jack and the Beanstalk with the beanstalk as well, and the giant.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite ones. So Cinderella or Jack and the Beanstalk, I think. Um, People I'd like to work with. Good question. I don't know. Morecambe and Wise. I think maybe if they were
Yeah.
still with us. I'm a big fan of the old school comedy. So Morecambe and Wise, Tommy Cooper is one of my
Wonderful.
idols as well.
Yeah.
If he was still with us and doing Panto, and Norman Wisdom as
Hmm.
well. Norman Wisdom, I met him just before he died, and such a lovely guy. So yeah, if he was still around doing Panto, yeah, I'd love to work with him as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And most people who have been on our Cup of Chat series so far have said exactly the same thing. You know, the old school, you just can't beat it, can you,
You
Phil?
can't. No, you can't. You can't beat them at all. They were responsible for a lot of us now in the business,
Yeah.
really, because we looked up to them, and if it wasn't for them, I don't think we'd be in the business we are.
No,
Really.
no, I totally agree. I mean, I remember seeing Ken Dodd on stage, but he didn't say anything for the first
Mm,
sort of 3, 5 minutes. He just come and sat out with a lunchbox, and everyone's laughing, and I'm just like,
yeah,
this this man has just got control of this whole audience, and all he's done is sitting there with a lunchbox saying, if you've ordered a taxi, cancel it, because obviously
yeah,
he used to go on for ages and ages. He was there for the evening. I mean, what fantastic. You say Morecambe and Wise, just so much that you can take on board. And it comes back to what you said earlier, Phil, as well, that you can watch these people, and not necessarily that you've got any clips of them being dames or being princes or whatever, or comics, I should
mm,
say, but you can take ideas from them and see their comic time, and it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I talking about Ken Dodd, if I can, because
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of going to see him live, and the only guy that I really knew who could keep an audience in laughter for about 2 3 hours.
Mm,
He never left the stage,
no.
and I was amazed. We got in there 7:30, and we didn't come out until just after midnight. And the
Yeah.
guy just kept on joke after joke after joke. He didn't repeat anything.
Mm,
He was just a true genius, that guy. But
yeah.
after a while, you do think, oh, please turn it in, Ken. Please
Yeah.
stop now.
I know yeah, just fantastic work from these old stars. It's wonderful to hear. Well,
Mhm.
Phil, thank you so much for joining us today
All
on the
right.
Cuppa Chat. Keep up your fantastic work. I hope you have a wonderful season in Hunstanton
Thank you. Thank you very
this
much. Yes.
weekend.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the
Come and see it.
Beanstalk. Is it the whole of December, is it, Phil, if
It
anyone's in
is.
Hunstanton?
Yeah, it starts on the 2nd of December and it
Yeah.
runs through until January the 1st.
Yeah, wonderful. And keep us up to date with how it's going when you start rehearsals and so on. We'd love to
Will do.
hear how it's all going for you.
Will do.
Thank you so much, Phil, for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
And
Thank
don't
you very
forget,
much.
that's all right. And you can don't forget to have a look on our Panto Archive websites to see all the latest details and listings of all the shows that are coming up, including Phil's Jack and the Beanstalk in Hunstanton. Thank you all for watching once again our Cup of Chat, and we'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.